All right, folks. Now I'm off duty and still back to work. A quick reminder that the H.R. 5376 passed the House of Representatives and is headed to Joe Biden's desk, and definitely will be signed off. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 that's not going to do what the name of it says, like pretty much every other bill that goes through Congress, especially if it comes out of a progressive liberal so-called representative. So we're going to have to make sure and keep all our P's and Q's straight on our paperwork for income tax and everything, and watch our transactions, because we already know that IRS has been given authority by the executive branch to be tracking everybody's transactions through our banks and different payment apps of over a minimum of $600. But also to, oh goodness, a little cramped under here, to please take part in contacting your state legislators, pushing them to write into legislation laws preventing from your own state officials and officers from assisting federal agents in unconstitutional laws, and also blocking federal agents from unconstitutional actions within your states. For example, directing any type of investigations, or personally, we could call them attacks, against people considered political dissidents that have a different opinion of some yahoo in the party that they support, even though they're supposed to be bipartisan. And then push your legislators to push the governor to initiate emergency legislative sessions in order to hurry up and get such good actions through. I don't care if you have Democrats in position. Everybody needs to be pushing them to protect you, and tell them if they don't want to do the job of protecting the citizens in the country, that they need to retire and let somebody else do the job, while also considering either running for office yourself or finding and supporting other people that are actually good to do it, preferably those who aren't politicians. But today is a different topic. You see this white spot on the brake drum of my Peterbilt here? Get my finger out of the way. And right on the edge over here, it's got a little blue color to it and kind of shiny. We're going to try to spin over here and look at this other brake drum. It still has the black paint. It's still shiny on the whole edge. You can see the new shoes there. Got a little bit of air gap in between. Here's the new brackets with the black paint on it. Where's my finger? Okay, there. That two of them were repaired in the past, because for some reason where this part goes onto the tube that you can kind of sort of see, they broke from the tube. Those brackets themselves, and they broke from the tube. They weren't welded enough from the manufacturer, and you know, at 20 years they kind of started getting weak. So two of them kind of needed to be replaced, even though they had a nice weld up job. I don't recall if I showed y'all what I had to do. Probably because I finished it at midnight. But the other ones were replaced also. They said they were needed. In all actuality, they were not. So we're going to keep them and clean them up to use them if necessary, or sell them to somebody to save them some money. Anyway, these poor shoes have been getting hot against that one spot of the drum over there. because something is off center. So what I've done is, you can see this old darn jack from Harbor Freight. I don't recommend their stuff, but hey, I can afford it. I got 2 of them for the price of one somewhere else, and I need 2 for lifting the front axle with the engine on it. What I have done here is I have weighted on my old clutch impact from Northern Tool to get enough pressure from the compressor to, one at a time, take the lug nuts loose, because again, somebody over tightened the stinking lug nuts. And then I hand snug them up against the rim, so the rims are snug, so everything should be nice and flush and straight. What I think may have happened is the original aluminum hub here might have a little bit of wear or something for some reason. And this brand new drum that I don't think is out of round, it could be, but I don't think it's out of round. I think it's off center. So what I'm going to do is after taking the lug nuts off, I must use this slack adjuster, this new Gunite slack adjuster that we installed them within the past couple years. And matter of fact, I installed some or all of them myself too, in replace of the original type. They are normally supposed to be backed off 1/4 turn. I generally do slightly over to make sure they're not too tight. Oh boy, switch hands. And yeah, I use Craftsman tools. They used to be real good stuff. At the time this ratchets were made, they were better than snap-on ratchets because they already had smaller gears with more teeth in them, so you could work easier in a tight spot. And then snap-on upgraded to even better than this here. But also, when you're starting out mechanic 20 years ago, it's kind of hard to afford that crap. That's a 1/4 turn. That's slightly more. I'm not going to go a full 3/8 turn, I don't think. And then switch hands again. Ball cap falls off because I'm laying underneath the support bracket for the air suspension there. This thing you're looking at's on top of my head. Anybody paying close attention wondering why one of the U-bolts was torched off is because the length of them was too long. In order to get the socket on there to properly tighten, they had to do that. On some of the other ones, we actually used a grinder and cut them off nice and smooth with a grinder. We're going to listen and hear if this thing is hanging. Excuse me, we ain't having to listen. It's hanging. That's why it's getting hot. I may have to get up out of here, go step the brakes a couple times to get things to shift, because just tightening that by hand didn't do the job. Also need to figure out exactly where it's hanging. Ooh boy. On the top. I think it's on the top. Working on gravel is so fun. Alright. Hey, there's some grass. I apologize. Somebody's hand's in the way. Must be mine, because I sure don't get no help. Thankfully, when I need it the most, good folks are available to me as they can manage. I got a few good people around. I hope you do too. Where's that? Okay. I was trying to get the flashlight out. Ow! That was my head. I got an old off-road creeper you probably saw in a previous video where I mentioned it that my buddy gave me, but the outer ½ inch of the wheels is gone. So it don't roll near as easy as it could. And the metal frame is pretty close to the ground because it's meant to be low profile to still get you underneath stuff. This sucks. And this is getting longer than I meant. Okay, now it free turns. Lay the ratchet down. I will crawl out and show you the bit on the lug nuts if I can ever get out of here. And I want to thank all my 380 something or so subscribers. I appreciate you. Please share the videos if they can help somebody or something. Please hit the like button. If you drop a comment plus comment below someone else's, I've learned it actually helps with the stinking algorithms, so they show the stuff to more people so a channel can actually build. I don't care about monetization. I'm not here trying to make money. I'm trying to provide information, and some of y'all seem to like this stinking mechanicking videos. These lug nuts here, here's the impact I mentioned. At the time that I purchased it, it was one of the best quality for the price, affordable, through Northern Tool. I wasn't trying to get anything from Harbor Freight. I had once and it was a piece of crap. As for an air tool, I have some of theirs and they're just there for backup or whatever, little air saw. It's weak. Their impacts I use though, that's probably where that adapter came from. I believe. I know that's where this 33mm socket came from. I was trying to use this Carlisle. I think that was from the local CarQuest or whatever. Maybe Napa. I think it's CarQuest. Engine 5/16 and 33mm is just almost identical. This is short enough that even after removing the chrome hubcap, the dadgum impact was at a bit of an angle. So while it was building up air again, I went and got the combination of the 1-inch drive with the adapter, and I didn't think it was going to work because I had already used the darn Evercraft extension I had bought here locally, I guess, too. I don't know. But anyway, they weren't coming loose. Well, the combination with the 1-inch drive impact, their socket, thankfully took them loose. I just had to wait for air to build up. But what it is, I took them all loose and then just put them hand tight so that brake drum can shift a little bit, hopefully, but not be flopping around. Because if it's too loose when they're snugged up, it shifts to one side or something. That's what causes the stinking out around problem a lot of times, especially on aluminum hub. If people have just drugged the things around or done something, or just, like I said, it's a 2000 model truck built in 99, so it's got some years on it. And howdy, good morning. No straw hat on this morning for crawling around. I got, what do we got on here this morning? Aggregate haulers. Used to work on their equipment, I guess, over a decade ago probably. Had that cap laying in the closet. But okay, here we go. All right, hopefully that made some difference. I'm not going to yeah, that's my ignition key. Yeah. Key's hanging in the pocket and the spur sticks up. That little rowel on there is not sharp, but I have carried that with it over my knuckle in places where I wasn't able to carry any defense items and wasn't fully comfortable of the surroundings. Something lady folks might think about, just like all the little pen knives that are on a necklace or something. Well, I'm gonna continue this and let you all go. Thanks if you bothered to listen to the whole nonsense. I still got a lot to do on this. It needs some bushing. Some old bushings under the hood in different places have worn out for the hood or for the radiator support and the intercooler supports. I've still got a dome light and some rear sleeper lights that the whole assembly I needs replaced, I guess, but it's just because of one little thing that goes over the wire to keep the bulb from shorting out in there. Just a little round grommet deal. I need to make some because you used to be able to buy all that stuff, but all this new LED and different lighting on all this crap, you can't get nothing to repair the old stuff. And on that note, stock up on all your necessities, including stuff for your vehicles and whatever. It's already a shortage, and if we get into full-blown contact with some jerkwads in another country, because of the jerks leading our country, they may decide they're not going to send us anything anymore, including medications and so forth, or the materials to make them, like I've mentioned. So learn how to use herbal stuff, get your books about it and whatever. You might order the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, maybe even the Lost Ways books, and they have paperback plus some download versions that you can put on a zip drive or in your computer and stuff. And go to the thrift stores and look around. You can find books on canning and gardening and homesteading and all kind of stuff, because people don't think they need it because they don't pay attention to what's going on around them. And yeah, I even need to replace this darn mud flap. I've done had to patch it when a tire tore it up, and it's going again. I can't believe it passed inspection recently, but they were more concerned with actually true safety items. Oh, and it wasn't torn that much yet. Anyhow, have fun.